What's going on, Kick Out Crew Nation? This is referee Adam. Um, Riding solo tonight. The crew's busy doing other things. But as you can see on the screen, if you're watching on YouTube, I have one of the guys I've gotten to know over the past year and a half since I started refereeing. Guy I've known pretty well. He is a former Spartan middleweight champion, and he's also a former Pro South Tag Team champion. He's a member of the Irish Brotherhood at Spartan Wrestling. He is the main character, Rhome Senju. Rome, how's it going tonight, brother?
Going good, Adam. It's going good, man. You know what it is, the main character, always the main attraction.
Dude, you've been blowing it up lately, man, because I've done some of your matches, at game time and Spartan, and dude, you lighting it up, man. All right, especially you and old Wes Taylor, man. Y'all been doing some damn good matches, bum.
Yeah, I mean, as much as I can't stand it, and he's been a thorn in my side, Wes Taylor has also been a worthy opponent throughout the whole time. And no matter what's funny is we always pop up in the same locker rooms. It's never planned. He just happens to be there.
And every time y'all in the ring together, y'all level up every time, man. I remember the first time I seen y'all out at Bear Creek, and then compared to here recently, man, y'all just it seemed like whenever I don't think you can get better, y'all do something and just blow the roof off the place, man.
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely. And that's one thing that I will admit about him that I do love about Wes is just it's very rare, and being a referee, it's very rare when you got that person that you just got that chemistry with, that you can just no matter what clock in and go to work. And me and Wes, we work every single time.
As I was introducing you, it says right here that you're part of the Irish Brotherhood. Are you like 10% Irish, or how does that work?
But so what's funny about that is before it happened, Joshua Hagan, my mentor and the current leader of the Irish Brotherhood, he was like, "Hey, I want to bring you into the Irish Brotherhood, but we got some requirements. We got to figure out how much Irish you got in you." So we were trying to figure that out, and I told him, I'm like, "Well, I'm from Chicago, and we dye the river green for St. Patrick Day, so I mean, does that got to add up for something?" So after some extensive research, we found out I got 10% Irish in me. And he was like, "You know what? That's good enough. We'll make it work."
I mean, because it seemed like like you said, O'Hagan. I've got to meet him, last year, 2019 Alabama Hall of Famer. You said he's a mentor of yours. How long has he been mentoring you?
Oh God, Josh has been mentoring me for 3 years now.
No, you've been here 3 years already.
Yeah, he had me for 1 year right before I hit, and then immediately afterwards, a little bit after I was moving around my own doing some stuff, he was like, "Hey, you know what? You coming with me?" So, and I've been able to just be around him, O'Malley, Cash, Dylan Cook, just the rest of the Irish Brotherhood, and just learning a lot from them about the business.
So, how much Irish does Brendan Cash have?
I, I don't know about that one. I'm pretty sure he's got a good amount too, knowing Brandon.
I mean, y'all seem like y'all stay on top of it, man. I know y'all kind of run a Spartan right now.
Oh yeah. And see, the thing too about the Irish Brotherhood is even even with the Irish, the whole part of the Irish Brotherhood is results. They don't let anybody in unless they can bring results, unless they have that aggression in them. And that's something, like I said, with Josh being my mentor and all the times of like him working with me and training me, he saw that aggression, and he was like the best place for it was the Irish Brotherhood.
So you call yourself the main character, but that hasn't been the whole time, has it? That's something you come up with here recently.
Oh yeah, that was very recently.
What brought that on?
So my whole thing is I love anime. Anime is a big thing, as you can tell
I see
on
your
the back of my
background. I have no
wall.
idea what it is, but I see your background.
I got Demon Slayer on the background, and it's anime has been a big thing in my journey, just personal and wrestling. So I kept trying to think about how I wanted to put it into wrestling. And I kept coming up with ideas, nothing was sticking. And then I kind of thought about it. I'm like, you know what? Pro wrestling is a story, and every story has to have a main character. And the minute I said it, it just hit. It was just something that it rolled off the tongue. And at a show at High Voltage, I just off the cuff told the announcer to put that right before he announced me. And the minute I heard him say it, it just hit, and I knew that that was it.
Well, I mean, it's anytime you can add something like that to your name, like The Rock did, the final boss.
Yeah,
So that it feels like main character is kind of like it's kind of in that same level as like when you play Mario or something. One of the main characters is the guy the guy on the front of the box on the front of the game is Mario.
yeah,
So when you're the main character, that's the person you are. So that means you kind of run the place.
yep. And that's pretty much what it is. Like having that main character title is me reminding everybody else that they're only side characters in my story. That whatever they do, it don't matter because at the end of the day, the story is about me.
So you said you're from Chicago. How long you been in Alabama?
I've been in Alabama for 15 years.
What brought you down here?
Yeah, God. My mom just things started getting really crazy. So she had to make a decision, and we had a family friend who was like, "Hey, why don't you come to Alabama?" And the rest was history. Why she didn't pick any other major city, I have no idea. But she was like, "Hey, let's just go to Alabama." So I'm like, "All right,
You're more of the like the Birmingham area. I mean, you ain't got to do it exact, but are you closer to
yeah,
Birmingham or what side of Alabama?
yeah." I'm more closer to Birmingham, just like maybe 10 minutes ish away.
I got you. So I can imagine the culture shock because I've been to Chicago. I know how massive Chicago is, and everybody's like it feels like everybody's going 90 mile an hour. Down here, we're going 65.
Yeah,
You go
no,
up north and you got to get used to this country style. How big of a difference
yeah.
was that to you?
God, the biggest difference was having to realize that I can't just hop on a bus or the train and go anywhere I want to. That was the biggest one.
See, when
Eh,
I've been Chicago 3 times, and every time I'll do a bus or the subway. And this last time I did it was a train service on us. It was the name of it was a different state, but I can't remember the exact name of it. It's the first time I've actually
God, I
done.
know what you're talking about.
It's like the Yellow Line train or something like that, or
The red line?
well, no, that's the sub. That's the underground
Yeah.
stuff, right?
Yep.
This was actually like a train that you can
Okay,
just.
I know what you're talking about.
I can't remember the name of it. It's got another state in the name, but it's my first time actually going on that type of train, and it was just I was on there for an hour and just sightseeing on that train is nothing like we have down here. I mean, I loved it. Just just kind of put my phone down and just watched. Because you go through the city, countryside, the business area. You go through all of it, and
Oh yeah.
it was amazing, man. I love it. But you say you've been doing this 3 years. Did you start at Spartan?
You know what? I want to say yes, but there was one place that I started training before. It was in Talluma, Tennessee, I believe. I think that was the name of it. It was a it's a promotion called SWF, and I started training there under Chaos. And after that, I had to stop for a little bit. I got back in, and that then I found Josh with Spartan Pro Wrestling. And the minute I walked through the doors, the atmosphere and just everything felt right. So I just knew like this is home. This is where I'm gonna lay down and finish out my training.
So when you have you always been like a wrestling fan, or is it something you just kind of picked up on halfway? Or
Oh yeah, no, I've always been a wrestling fan. Uh, so what got me into not necessarily like professional wrestling, but what got me into amateur wrestling was I don't know if you remember the show Saved by the Bell,
hell yeah, I remember that
but
shit. Hell yeah,
the character the character AC Slater,
AC Slater,
I thought he
baby.
was cool as I thought he was cool as hell. I was like, and he was on the wrestling team, so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna wrestle when I get into high school. I'm gonna do that. And but as a little kid, my dad, my brother, they recorded so much stuff from like the old school WWF days and the like even older. So I remember watching a lot of like early Jericho, early WCW with Rey Mysterio, just a whole bunch of that, and that really helped me a lot too. So just all of that made me just say like wrestling was just something I wanted to do.
Dude, I grew up on Saved by the Bell, man. Screech, AC, yeah. Was you a Lisa Turtle or Kelly Kapowski guy?
Oh God.
Or Jesse? Did you? I mean, a lot of people like Jesse.
Oh no, my girl was Lisa. I ain't gonna lie to you. Lisa was my girl.
She was my number two, but I've always been a Kelly Kapowski guy, and I will be to the day I go in. God,
I
that's
can
an
feel
old
that.
reference. So do you? You're what 30? You're not even 30 yet, are you?
Oh, not yet. I'm only 28.
That's what I'm saying. God, man, I got 12 years on you. Damn, I'm surprised you even know what Saved by the Bell is.
Man, I told you, like, I'm an old soul. I promise you that. I'm an old soul.
I wasn't. I mean, Saved by the Bell wasn't on my bingo card for this interview. It really wasn't.
Yeah.
All right, so you find Spartan. That you for some reason you find Gadsden, Alabama, to start training at Spartan. In the mall of all places, and you take that first bump, and what do you tell yourself? God, I love this, or is it kind of like, what the hell am I doing? Or because it's either one or the other. It's either I love it or I hate it. What crossed your
Oh
mind when you
no.
took that first bump?
Oh no. The minute I took that first bump, I was like, oh yeah, this is it. This is definitely it. Because like I said, I wrestled through high school. So I wasn't afraid of falling already. I wasn't afraid of like, getting hurt or being in like physical contact. So the minute I took that first bump, I was like, oh yeah, this is it. This is exactly where I want to be. And it was just all of it. That first bump, the minute I hit the ropes, I remember going home after like hitting the ropes or taking bumps. I would have the whelps and the bruises, and I would just look in the mirror with a smile on my face, like this is it. This is exactly where we want to be.
So which one got you worse? Was it the bump or the hitting the ropes?
I ain't gonna lie to you, it was the hitting the ropes.
Yeah, hitting the
The
ropes
bumps
is
I
what got me too, man.
the bumps I could do all day. I had no problems with it. I jump as high as I could for them bumps. Hitting the ropes, that took a minute for me to adjust.
I did the same thing, man, and and I was like a buck 40. I was like CT size, maybe an inch taller or so. So when I hit the ropes, they didn't hardly move. So I didn't do much bounce back, and that shit hurt. God, I remember. But so how
Oh,
long did
they
you
were
train before you had
unforgiving.
your first match?
God, and okay, so what's funny is when I got there with Josh, I had a little bit of training under my belt. So I got with Josh, and I want to say it was four. Yeah, within 4 months of me training with Josh, he came to me. He's like, "Hey, do you have any gear?" And I was like, "Yeah, I got something I can grab." He's like, "Great, you're working tonight."
Damn.
I was just like, okay."
And you remember against who?
Well, yeah, I remember exactly. It was literally against Josh. Yeah, it was against Josh and his son. It was against Josh and his son, and they beat me down. It was
Kind of like he's doing a
it
CT
was
now.
yeah, like yeah. At least I got some size on me, so what I wasn't getting ragdolled, but it was still a beat down regardless.
Yeah, you're probably bigger than Josh as far as like tall and weight wise.
Yeah, I don't know if that made it better or worse.
Him being smaller, he might have thought, "No, I got to prove something to this guy."
Yeah.
So you started a little bit later than I did. I remember right when I was old enough, when I turned 18, I started training, and I was in the ring way too damn early after I started training. But you were smart. You waited till you in your 20s to jump in there.
See, what's funny is that was not by chance. That was not by choice. I promise you that. That was not by choice. Because if I could have found somebody sooner, I would have.
Well, it's good you found Spartan, man, because I know a couple of guys. Josh tells us, there's a couple of folks from NXT that he's had in hand in training, and they're doing pretty well. And I know there's some around this area that ain't so good as far as training. And I think we know who that might be. Here
Oh
locally, not
yeah.
right down the road from here. But
Oh yeah. And like the thing the thing about Josh, and this is why I love Spartan, is that he is not afraid to tell people if wrestling is not for them. Which there are some people that wrestling is just not for them,
oh
whether it
God, yes.
be from a physical standpoint or a mental standpoint. And a lot of people don't like to hear that because, I mean, a lot of people are always told, you can be whatever you want to be, and that's fine. But there are limits to some of it. And I think some people come to Spartan and it's a reality check for some people. Like a lot of people get in, they take that first bump, and like you said, it's a hit or miss. And some people they just take that first bump and they're just like, no, I can't do it.
And a lot of it, I mean, there's some skill involved at the beginning, but you have to be able to be coachable. And a lot of younger guys, I don't know if you noticed, but there's some younger guys now that just you can tell them one thing and they don't they do I don't say they do the opposite, but tell them, hey man, why don't you try this? And it's just like in one out the other.
Oh yeah.
Or they jump in there thinking, oh, it's my first day, I can do flips, I can do this, I can do that. It
Oh
seemed like we
yeah.
just went through that, didn't we?
Yeah. And that's what kind of makes me feel like old sometimes because I'm 28, but a lot of times I do be like, man, these younger guys, they come in and they're just they don't want to like pay attention or listen sometimes. And I get sometimes it's that excitement of like, oh my God, I'm finally about to become a wrestler. But a lot of them don't understand what it takes to get to that point. Like everybody wants to do a Canadian destroyer, nobody wants to chain wrestle. So it's like they don't understand you gotta take those baby steps sometimes.
I hear it all the time. Yeah, I can do that, but why? Why do you do that in a match? I mean, just because you can go off the top rope doesn't mean you need to every match.
Oh yeah. No, I come into that a lot because like I said, I'm 28, so people think, oh, he's a younger guy, he's gonna want to do a lot of flippy AEW stuff. And I'm like, nah, brother, we're not gonna do that.
There's no
Cause
storytelling in my flippy shit.
yeah, like just recently I had to tell a guy I'm not taking a Canadian from him. He's like, come on. He's like, man, yeah, I'm thinking tonight we do a Canadian. I'm like, okay, why? And he kind of just looked at me. He's like, well, I can do one. I'm like, that's great.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of
Why?
stuff I can do. Doesn't mean I'm going to be doing it in the ring. I mean,
Yeah, it's like I'm glad you can do a Canadian. That's great, but I don't see how we're gonna tell the story of how we're gonna make it fit. Because
yeah,
or my favorite one is, hey, what's your finish? Oh, it's they'll just say something like, oh, it's a DDT or something crazy like that. I'm like, okay, it's a DDT, and then the whole time they're like, yeah, I'm gonna work your back, I'm gonna work your leg, and I'm like, but your finish is on my head.
That's like
It's
Ric
like, yeah, I'm
Flair
like,
having the figure four and him working the shoulder the whole match.
yes,
That makes no damn sense. I mean, when Ric Flair had the figure four, he worked the leg.
yeah. And it all, like you said, it all goes back to that training. It all goes back to the beginning of, are you taught how to tell a story? Are you taught the mechanics of why you're doing what you're doing? Because if your finish works on a body part and your move set doesn't work on that same body part, then you're kind of just shooting yourself in the foot at that point.
Yeah, it's kind of like having a sharpshooter, but like I said, you was working the elbow or you're working the shoulder.
Yeah,
Okay, well, the sharpshooter's supposed to hurt your back.
yeah,
Well, why are you working my arm?
yeah.
So that first match, you said you have with Josh. How many times did you have to work Josh before he let you work with somebody else?
Let's see. I actually worked Josh for 4 matches. Yeah, it was 4 matches, and then I worked the Wasteland
Oh
for about
God,
2 matches. Yeah,
you got thrown to
my
the
chest
wolves,
hurts
Bubba.
just thinking about it. Yeah, for real. My
Oh,
chest hurts thinking about it for real.
my heart skipped a beat for
And
you.
and then I had a two, I want to say two. I believe it was a 2 month program with Barry Koloff.
Okay, seem like I remember that. I mean, it's
Yeah, you were a ref for one of those
yeah,
matches.
yeah. He's easy to work with too. I gotta get him on here. I know he reached out wanting to who's the best. He's always who's the best. So in the
Yep,
comments when I was asking for somebody, he's like, "Yeah, if you want the best, you want me." I was like, "Yeah, that sounds like Barry."
yep. Yeah, I will say this about Barry. That time working him for that 2 months was very very educational and a very good experience because Barry really helped me with that call it in the ring mentality.
Yeah, he's got that old school mentality that not a lot of people's got right now, and he. I mean, I love the fact that he's take it slow, and if you think you're going too slow, go a little slower.
Yep.
This the match he just had with War Machine and Game Time, what 2 weeks ago. What did they do in that match? A couple of
Power work.
clotheslines, a shoulder tackle, and a spear,
Yep.
and I took the spear. So that's all they did. I mean, it was y'all keep talking, and I love that old school heel stuff, man. If y'all keep talking, we're gonna leave. And they get louder. If I hear you cheer for this guy, we're not doing. I mean, I just love that old school heel, like just that cheap heel stuff. I love it.
Yeah. Cause I mean, and that's one thing I loved about working Barry too, and I try to do that in my work is a lot of people don't understand the concept of being a heel anymore because a lot of people go out and they're trying to be more over than the baby face. They're trying to get more cheers in the baby face. I'm just like, no, he's supposed to be on top. He's supposed to be the big guy at that moment
Yeah, you can't
because they're
cheer for
supposed to
both
hate
people.
you. Yeah, like, and that's the craziest thing to me ever. Is like why is like if your whole job is to be hated, why are you wanting them to cheer for you? Like if it's a generic thing, then that's one thing. Like if the crowd just like, you know what, I hate him so much, I'm gonna cheer for him, that's one thing. But for you to just be trying to get that reaction is just a waste.
Yeah, I don't think. Like I said, you got to boo somebody, you got to cheer somebody. So if you're the distinguished heel, you shouldn't be going in there, looking for pops and looking for cheers, and you should be like, oh, if y'all get louder, I'm gonna beat them harder. Just it's not hard to do. When me and my cousin was wrestling out here in Boaz, um, do you know anything about Boaz wrestling out here?
Only heard. I've never
Okay.
really like
Uh,
done any
it,
more.
it's country, boy. I mean, it's They love their whoever they love. That's who they love. And me and my cousin, we were tag team working heel, and the promoter's like, "Hey, you see these guys and these folks in the front row? It's like a family. Um, they go all the time." He says, "That's where your heat is this family right here." Okay, good deal. So me and my
Yeah,
cousin go out there, sit down, whatever. And we get to them people, and it's an older lady in a wheelchair and some of her grandkids and stuff like that. And we're just doing, just being bad guys. And then my cousin looks at her and says, "Hey, lady, won't you get up out of that wheelchair? You don't need it. You're just doing it for sympathy. You're just being lazy, you old hag." And the grandkids were like, "You keep talking about grandmother like that. We'll meet you outside." "Oh yeah, whatever. You'll probably be sitting in the chair next because you're as lazy as she is." End of the show. Guess who's outside waiting on me and him?
I was about to say,
We got
yeah,
escorted out of Boaz that night back to the next town over, just because of them two or three folks. I mean, you don't see that no more, man. And like I said, that's all. I can't even take credit for it because that was him. He's the one that's said that to that lady. I was just lucky enough to be beside him when he did.
yeah.
Oh, you don't see that stuff no more, man. And
No,
it's all we did was call her lazy, and that was it. And it's not
and
hard
that
work.
no, and that goes back to what we were talking about before with that heel work, and that's something that I do a lot of my heel work, and I learned it from Josh. I learned it from Barry and some of the other people I've talked to as heels. Is I engage with the crowd because a lot of heels don't do that. Like they try to get their heat from just their move set, and they don't understand that the crowd is the biggest part. Because and just from a performance point of view, they didn't pay to come sit on their hands, and you don't want them to sit on their hands, so you want them to engage.
You
So a
got to
lot of
give them
times you're
something
gonna
they're
have
going to
to,
remember.
yeah. A lot of times you got to bite first. You got to be the one to set the tone.
Because I remember I was listening to some interview or something. The time they were talking about independent wrestling, and they said a lot of people that come to shows probably won't remember your name, but they're going to remember that guy that got out of my face, and they're going to remember the one that said this or did that. So give them something to remember. That way they'll remember you. They might not remember, that ref or whatever, but they're going to be like, hey, they're going to tell their friends, hey, we went to this wrestling. There was this guy that was just dogging somebody, man.
Yeah,
And that's what they're going to remember, and that's what they're going to tell their friends about.
yeah. Because I mean, it's one of them things where it's like, oh, great, you can do a moonsault. That's great. I'm pretty sure there's like two or three other people who can do that. But what's really gonna distinguish you? What's gonna make people say like, hey, I remember that guy because, like you said, that emotion that he elicited from me.
Yeah, and it's good to see, some people still doing it, and you're just here recently turned bad guy. What made you want to do the jump?
It was a okay. This is gonna sound so
It's,
cheesy,
it's more fun,
but
ain't
it was definitely a I call it a rock moment. It was definitely a young rock moment because it kind of happened in the same sense. It's like when I was being a baby face, I wasn't getting anywhere. I had that fire, I had that emotion, but nothing was coming out of it. It just fell flat every single time. And it was actually Josh. Same situation. I went to Josh. I'm like, man, I'm they're not feeling me. I don't it's not working. What do I need to do? He's like, do you think they don't like you? I'm like, I think they don't care. He's like, all right, let's see what happens when they don't like you. And I remember I wrestled Onyx, and we had a competitive match. And again, he's a big baby face. They all love him.
Yeah, he's a baby face
So,
that likes to lay it in though.
oh
He lays his
God,
stuff in, even though he's a baby face. He's
yeah.
He's pretty snug with his.
Yeah, I'm just like, bruh, do you accept payments? I don't know how much I owe you, but I promise I'll pay it back.
Did I say something about
Promise.
your mom or dad? I'm sorry if I did,
For
man.
real.
Damn.
For real. And so I lose the match and I have the usual babyface moment, grab him, shake his hand. And as he goes to turn away, I hold his hand and clock him with the meanest forearm I've ever thrown. And the air left the room. Just, it went from cheers, claps to just the air straight left.
Yeah, because I
And
mean
I gave him,
we know Onyx, and he gets one of the bigger pops, but he's sympathetic, but I mean he's Onyx is like the most kind hearted. He's got the most heart of anybody probably in that ring, and he probably tries harder than any damn body in that locker room. And when you turn on him, man, it's I can see the whole the air leaving.
yeah,
I can see it happening, man. I wish I could have been there to see it because I can imagine because it's you picked the right dude to turn against.
yep. And so here's the funny thing about it is after I did the turn, like the whole time, the whole picture and the video that left, it got flooded with comments of like, I can't believe Rome did that. I thought he was such a good guy, this, that, and the other. I'm like, so wait, you did like me as a face? It's like, because everybody was just like, why did he do it? What happened? What's going on? And that's when I kind of again took uh some inspiration from anime, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna call this my villain arc, and that's pretty much what I've been on this whole time of my heel turn is my villain arc because I tried to be the hero, nobody loved it, nobody cared, so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go the villain route, and now it just like I said, it was one of them things where it's like I didn't come in wanting to be a heel. I came in with the intentions of doing a babyface run, but that heel turn completely changed everything.
How's it feel? Do you like it?
Oh yeah, definitely.
I freaking loved it. I ain't gonna lie, it's so much fun. I mean, but I'm a shit talker anyway.
Oh yeah. That's my thing. That's my thing. Like I can come off the cuff with no hesitation. So now being a heel, I just got an excuse to just pop off at any random moment. It's awesome.
Well, I've noticed, since you turned and like your mic work, you've gotten you're more. There's more confidence there. And like just last week or 2 weeks ago at game time, you and Cook come out, and I think you did it at Spartan too. Dude, your mic work is just it's so much better because I can see a more confidence about you.
Oh yeah. It definitely is there, and it's something I've noticed too, is because like I said, when I first got trained, I wanted to go babyface route, but my trainer at that time, he's like, "Oh no, you're gonna be one of my heels," and I was like, "I don't know, I don't feel it." But every time I would cut a promo, it would be really heelish. It would have like small baby face, but it would be 80% heel, and it would just be a natural like reaction. So when I remember the first promo I cut as a baby face, it just fell flat. I didn't feel it. It felt so generic when I did it.
Yeah,
And then that first promo I cut as a heel just came out and everything felt good. I didn't think about it. It was just right there. And I was like, okay, this can work.
yeah. It's and you get that feel after it's done, you kind of get that feeling like, oh wow, okay, this is what I should have been doing the whole time. I mean,
Yeah.
dude, I loved it, man. It's just so much fun. It's so much. I won't say easier, really, but it's more fun, and it's you know, it, you get on social media. 80% of it's negative anyway, so everybody's already in a negative mood. So it's easier to piss somebody off, I guess, than it is to make them happy.
Oh yeah, definitely. Oh yeah, definitely. Like it is so much easier because the thing is like in general, people are always gonna find a reason not to like something anyway. So now I'm just gonna bypass it and just give you a reason. You
Exactly.
ain't
Make
even
it
gotta worry
easy
about
on him. Like
finding nothing.
here's your reason to hate me. So here you go.
Yeah,
You're
it's
gonna look
right
for it
there.
anyway. So here it is.
Oh
That
yeah.
so and and you ended up winning the Spartan middleweight championship. Was it before or after you turned?
That was both of those happened at the exact same night.
That's right.
So yep, so I won it, and right when my theme was about to play, Josh was like, no, 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 that's the old one. Hit his new theme. And the Irish Brotherhood theme started playing. And that was another moment where it was a mixture of the air left the room, but there was also like very audible what moments too. Like I could hear people in the crowd be like, "What? He's Irish Brotherhood?" And it was awesome.
This guy's already turned on one of our main people. Now he's in this damn group.
Yeah,
Hell yeah, man. And that's and you. Yeah, how long did you hold the middleweight championship for?
I held it for 2 months.
And who'd you end up beating to get it?
It was a triple threat between me, Dunn, Stefan Dunn, and Alistair Crow.
That's right, because Zeus had to relinquish it, didn't he? Because of his hand.
Yep.
That's right. That was right in the same time he was getting married. So that was a good
Yeah,
win. Gift
no, he
take
got
his championship from him.
yeah, no, see, I think I'll be honest with you, I think it was all planned because it's ironic that the moment I was ready to take the title from him, he just happened to hurt his hand and have to relinquish it. So
I mean, you didn't see no
we'll
X-rays or
go.
nothing, did you? Did you ever see X-rays or anything?
No, no, I didn't see no X-rays or nothing. So
Exactly.
I
I
mean,
mean, show me proof you broke your hand, man. Come on now.
yeah, no. And then immediately after he relinquished it, and I did my first promo, all of a sudden he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm working out, getting ready to take my title back." I'm like, that's interesting.
And has
He
he
just
taken that title
showed
back yet?
nah. Yeah, it's not taking it back yet.
That's what I thought. I mean, because I think you will get it back before he does.
Oh yeah, because like I said, at the end of the day, I'm the main character. So you can have your little moment, but I'm coming back for what's mine.
At the end of the day, you got to come through me.
Yep.
And so you said you kind of started out as Spartan, but you went out to Pro South. I've seen you at out there Bear Creek. Um, you know some stuff with New South. Um, do you have like I said, you ain't gotta I don't want you to compare or nothing like that. But are there matches, like I'm sure you had some good matches everywhere. Are there matches at each place that kind of stick out to you? Like is there a Spartan match that you kind of like, yeah, I think I did my best in that match. And is there some Spartan you think you've had that moment? I mean, Spartan and New South. Do you feel like you've had that? I'm proud of that match yet, or you still looking for that match?
So at New South, the match where I can say that was me and Soraya Saber.
Okay.
We we were the opener when they were at the Friendship Lodge, and we set the tone for the night. We had the crowd engaged. They hated me. They loved her. So that was one of the moments where I did say, you know what, I'm proud of that one.
And that's a small,
And
intimate place anyway. I mean, there's only 60, 70 people in there, and they're right on top of you, too. So, I mean, whoever's in there is involved. And I love the smaller, intimate places. I mean, it just feels, I don't know, it just feels different to me.
oh yeah,
And
definitely.
I could see, I think that was one of them ones I had to miss. But
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
Freya she ended up just going up for the NWA Women's Championship.
Yeah, I saw that too. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and every time she gets in the ring, man, she shows out. I mean,
Oh
she's.
yeah.
It seemed like everybody here lately, Spartan, New South, they're just stepping their game up every time. Our champion, Tyler Franks, that dude, man, nobody can stop him, man. He's within this last 6 months, ever since that title's been on his shoulder, he's been unstoppable, man. And I'm more power
Oh
to him,
yeah.
proud of him.
Oh yeah. That match, I'm so glad I got to see that match live with him and Richard Holiday.
Yes.
That that was amazing. That match was awesome.
Yeah, I knew they was going to have a damn good match, and I was worried Richard was going to get that title, but Tyler held it together and got that 1, 2, 3.
Oh yeah. And to answer your question about Spartan,
That's Spartan, yeah.
um, for me, I guess it's a tie between two matches. It would be the match where I won the middleweight title, and then the most recent match where I lost the middleweight title. Those two matches would be matches where I say, you know what, I can go back and watch them and say I did my best. The crowd was in it. The match went as smooth as it could go, and I got no regrets for that.
Yeah, I actually got to do yours and Patterson's match. I mean, it was,
Yep.
and I think it surprised a lot of the crowd too, because I don't think they were expecting Patterson to win it.
Oh no, yeah, definitely not.
And y'all had one of the better matches of the night, man. It seems like here lately you've been trying to go out there and steal the show. I mean, I don't know if it's just you trying to prove a point or what.
I'm not gonna lie to you. It has been a little bit.
Hell yeah.
It has been because I've gotten into the mindset now of like, you know what? I'm going out there and I'm gonna show everybody why I'm the main character, why that's not just a cheap little gimmick or just a nickname I want to give myself. I'm gonna show them that this is a way that I believe. This is a way of life for me.
And like I said, out here game time, I mean, you and Wes, we talked about it earlier. I mean, every time y'all step in the ring together, man, you up your game, dude. And you're only 3 years in, man, you're doing amazing work, bro.
Man, thank you. I appreciate it for real.
What do you got coming up? I mean, I know you're at Spartan. Are you gonna be out at New South anytime soon?
I'm working on it. I'm gonna do my best to get back out there because again, that's a place where New South, no matter where they go to, the crowd is always live. They are always active. I've yet to see or be at a New South show where the crowd didn't show up and show out.
Yeah, I'm excited about this weekend. We got the Von Braun Center for the Comic Con.
Yeah,
I figured if any of them, that'd be one of the ones you want to be at because of the anime
no, right?
aspect.
I know, right? Of all the times where I'm just like, I man, I wish I didn't have any bookings. This would
Oh,
be the time.
that's right, because you're at Game Time Friday. What do you got anything going on Saturday?
Yeah, Saturday I'm gonna be at Rocket City.
That's right, for Barry. Yeah, for Barry.
Yeah,
Who do you got? Who do you got that night? Do you know?
yeah. So, yeah, I actually do. It is a triple threat with me, Damon Crow, and Big Bad Wolf Star Cleveland.
Big Bad. You talking about AR Wolf?
Yeah, AR Wolf. Yeah,
He's gonna be wanting to do a Canadian Destroyer next.
yeah. I ain't taking it. Nope. Somebody else can take it. I'm good.
And then Dagum, you got Wes again at Game Time, man. It feels like I don't guess he can get enough ass beating, can he?
Man, I swear.
How many times you got to beat this guy?
That's what I'm saying. Like I don't. It's like that episode of SpongeBob. How many times we got to teach you this lesson, old man? He keeps coming back.
You can't. I mean, I was going to say something about a best of seven, but I mean, if you have a best of seven, that means he's got to win sometimes, and that doesn't happen.
Yeah, no, it ain't going like that.
I mean, I could say best of three, but you've already done them. You've already got
Yeah, I'm
three
about to say
on
I'm
him,
already 2-0 at this point.
and by the time this weekend comes up, it'll be three.
Yeah, one thing I will say about Wes, that undeniable that name is definitely
Yeah,
him.
he don't give up, does he?
Cause no, he's gonna fight through it no matter what. He's gonna fight to get what he wants. So I will give him all the credit to that.
It feels like since y'all have had these matches already, it feels like there should be something extra added to it, kind of like I won't say like a last man standing or like a something other than just a regular match because y'all done that, been there, done that. It feels like there should be something like just something different because you've already beat this guy. regular match 2 or 3 times already. Uh, you like to do the chain wrestling stuff. How about the only way you can ask man in charge, whatever, because I won't get to be there Friday. Maybe a little something different. You like to chain wrestle? The only way you can win is by submission. No pinfalls. That way you can show off your submission skills.
Oh yeah. And see, that's that's the thing that we have been talking about and we're trying to figure out because the the thing about me and Wes with all of our matches is there's always that different element
Yeah, you'll
because
never have the
we
same match twice, by no means. I don't mean for that. If it sounded like that, I didn't mean for it
oh
to.
yeah no
But you've already
yeah
beat the
no
guy
like
2 or 3 times. His shoulders already been on the mat 2 or 3 times. Hell, make him submit for once.
yep. And see that's what I've been trying to figure out is for the longest is like you said, I didn't pin him already, and he keeps coming back. So it's gonna have to be something to where we can lay it to rest.
Yeah, you got to
Because
old yeller his ass.
yeah, we've had this going on, like you said, from Bear Creek to just all over. We keep always ending back up in the same place at the same time. So it's gonna have to be something. I suggested to him once. I'm like, you know what? Why don't we just have a table match? Nobody's on the indie. Nobody right now is doing table matches for real. Let's just go ahead and start off with a table match.
Yeah, something different, man. Because when's the last time you saw like you can only win by submission? When's the
Eh,
last time you seen a match like that?
I'll tell you what I actually suggested. Um, so I actually suggested to him, like, you know what? If we're gonna have these regular matches, that's fine. Instead of like waiting weeks and weeks and weeks to have a match, let's just give us a good 15, 20 minute Iron Man. Just
Okay, I
give us
was
an Iron
thinking like
Man.
2 out of 3, but I like Iron Man too.
Yeah, like just go ahead, let us have this Iron Man and just settle it out once and for all. We ain't gotta wait 2 weeks to have 3 matches, 4 matches. Just Iron Man it out. Let us go at it for a solid 20 and just lay it to rest who's better.
I feel like 20 is a good number because the crowds now they want to do 60 minutes, and
Yeah.
I don't know very many people who do want to do 60 minutes. But when there's 9 matches on the card, 20 minutes is good.
Oh yeah.
I mean, just either way, everybody the outcome's going to be the same anyway.
Oh yeah. And that 20 minute, the reason also why I wanted to do 20 is because it really gives that sense of urgency. It's like you got 20 minutes to run up this score as much as you can, whether it's
Yeah,
pinfall or submission. You got 20 minutes to do whatever you can.
I got 20 minutes to show everybody how many times, how many different ways I can beat this guy. I can
Exactly.
beat him by a pinfall. I can submit him. I can make him, do a count out. I can whatever. However, I want to beat this guy, I can do it. And so I wouldn't mind seeing that, man. And I bet promoter man wouldn't mind, something different because I mean it gets frustrating to have to do the same thing over and over and over. You know, show everybody that you can beat them a different way.
Yeah. And I mean, not just that, but like as a just from a fan perspective, because I've always said I'm a fan first.
Yeah.
So just from a fan's perspective, how many times are they gonna want to come to this show and see Rome dog walk West Taylor? Like after a while, they're gonna be like, man, I'm not
Yeah.
even about to go to this show because I already saw the match two
Yeah, it's
weeks
like I don't
ago.
I don't want to go to see a movie if I already know the ending. They
Exactly.
see you standing across from West Taylor, they already know, well, West ain't gonna win this one. He hadn't done it yet.
Yeah, they're like, let me go ahead, scroll and see what's happening on Facebook or Instagram because this
Yeah.
ain't this ain't about to work.
We already know. We just all we gotta do is listen for the bell and look up and Rome will be standing over him. Like always.
I was just about to say it's like how people used to talk about the Mike Tyson's fight. Don't blink because
Exactly.
it's already about to be over.
So you got 20-minute Iron Man, they won't have time to blink. Because
No,
they'll have to sit and watch you have to score 4 or 5 times.
yeah,
I like that dog walk 'em. I like that. Hell yeah, man. You sounds like you got a lot coming up, man. Tell everybody how they can find you as far as like social media, Facebook, Twitter. Throw your socials out there so they can find you.
Yep. So all my socials for Facebook, for Instagram, uh, Twitter, and TikTok, they're all under Rhome Senju. I just keep everything one name all across the board.
Yeah, I wish I'd have been smart and done that myself.
I didn't at first. I had to go back and change everything because I was like, you know what? I'm not giving out five different names. Just
God
one name
no.
all across.
Or it could be Rome dot send you or Rome underscore send you or send you underscore Rome or it's see I should have done that, done all mine the same. I might need to see if I can do that.
Well, I got lucky because, like, I guess the minute I did it, nobody was using Rome or Senju like for like profile names. So I just got lucky and just ran everything through.
Hell yeah, man. Like I said, you've been doing great work, dude, and I hope you keep it up, man. And great chat with you. And I hope you whoop that ass for this weekend. Whoop Wes's ass for me because he gets on my nerves sometimes too.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. We about to clock in. Go ahead, show Wes what to do. We're gonna show Wes that the only undeniable thing about our matches is that I'm the main character and I'm coming out on top.
Hell yeah, man. Sounds good to me, man. I appreciate you staying with me, man. Chatting with me and hope to have you on again soon, buddy.
Oh yeah, definitely. Hope to be back soon.
All right, Kick Out Crew Nation. Thank you for sticking with us for about a good 45-minute talk, man. So hope everybody likes it. And if everybody else has anybody they like to see me interview, just hit me up on Facebook, Twitter, whatever, at the Kick Out Crew. All right, y'all guys have a good night. Thanks.
Yeah, have a good one.